What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Jacob Daniel back at it again here at the Speed Kills podcast. In the 6th round of the 2019 NFL Draft, the Cincinnati Bengals selected a running back out of Texas A&M, Trayveon Williams. And Trayveon Williams has drawn a lot of hype to himself among Bengals fans. A lot of Bengals fans believe that he will get a large role in the offense and that he is a special talent. I think that he was an absolute steal in the 6th round, and he was a great value at that spot to pick. And I believe he's a very good talent. I don't believe he is a special talent. I think he could have more speed as a running back. He ran 4.51. He could be running in the 4.4s, and speed could be a lot better for Trayveon Williams, but I do believe he is a really good pick and a really good running back. The quick answer to this question is no, he will not start for the Bengals this season unless there is some major injuries. If there are major injuries to Joe Mixon or Giovanni Bernard, I see Trayveon Williams getting a lot of playing time. I think he will be a starter if Giovanni Bernard gets injured or Joe Mixon gets injured. If that doesn't happen, I don't see Trayveon Williams getting a lot of playing time for the Cincinnati Bengals in 2019. I think he'll be the third running back on the depth chart behind Joe Mixon and Giovanni Bernard. Joe Mixon's ahead of him. They're not going to replace Joe Mixon, the 2018 AFC leader in rushing yards, and I believe that Joe Mixon's even going to have a bigger role this season in the Zach Taylor offense, like I've said many times on this podcast, and I'm still a Joe Mixon guy. I've been a Joe Mixon guy from day one since he was drafted. Even before he was drafted, I said that the Bengals should pick Joe Mixon in the 2017 NFL Draft, and I think Trayveon Williams could get significant snaps in games, but I don't see him getting a ton. I see him getting probably like 5 to 6 snaps per game, and that's if Joe Mixon is absolutely gassed and Giovanni Bernard just came out of the game, unless there is some injury. If I were to give Trayveon Williams an NFL comparison, Joe Mixon would be a great comparison to that, or Devontae Freeman. He's around the same size as Joe Mixon and has around the same skill set as Mixon too. He's a hard runner, a very powerful runner, and he's almost the exact same height and weight of Devontae Freeman. Trayveon Williams is 5'8", 205 pounds, and Devontae Freeman is 5'9", 209 pounds. So there's just a little bit of difference between those two. But Trayveon Williams, great physical attributes. Like I said, he could be a little bit faster, but he does have really good speed on the field. He has really good football speed, not really breakaway speed. He has great vision, really powerful runner, like I said, but I don't see him getting any snaps without entry to Giovanni Bernard and Joe Mixon. I do see, however, towards the end of the season, Trayveon Williams getting more reps if the Bengals don't have a meaningful season. You know, that means they finish the season 4-12, maybe, just because Giovanni Bernard is in his contract year this next year. And if they want to see what they have from Trayveon Williams, then they're going to give him snaps, because a lot of us Bengals fans believe that Gio's not going to get signed back to the Bengals after this next season, and Trayveon Williams will take over his spot that Gio had in 2020. And I think that's where Trayveon Williams is gonna fall. I know this is a different coaching staff and a completely different vibe to this team, but Joe Mixon didn't really start his first game until I think 6 games in his rookie season, which that was a lot, and I was a big believer in Joe Mixon. I don't think Trayveon Williams is going to get a lot of meaningful snaps till the end of the season. They want to know what they have with Trayveon Williams so that they cannot sign Gio back. And if they don't like what they see from Trayveon, then I think they might pay Gio, but I think Gio is going to want a lot of money, and the Bengals are not going to be willing to pay that. And I think Trayveon in 2020 is going to have a lot more significant role than he does in 2019. But like I said, I don't see Trayveon Williams starting for the Cincinnati Bengals in 2019. I believe his role will come in 2020, and I think he's a great prospect to have on the Cincinnati Bengals roster. He had nearly 2,000 scrimmage yards at Texas A&M, and he's a great athlete, great attributes as a running back, and I really think that in the future he will be a really big contributor to the Bengals, but I don't think in 2019 he will be a big contributor. That's all I have for you today here on the Speed Kills podcast. You know, I'm always trying to pump out quality content for you guys, so make sure to stay tuned here on the podcast and make sure to be on the lookout for the next video.